All right, guys, we've got another update for you on reopening status. This update will be regarding ticket prices. That was one thing we talked about in the previous video. Where I had mentioned that it was going to be basically the same exact pricing structure as we had when the parks closed. It was introduced in February 2020. That is the pricing structure we're going to find on April 15th when we start buying tickets for the April 30th opening. We'll cover really quick the pricing for each tier. Tier 1 is $104 for a single day, single park ticket. Tier 2 is $114. Tier 3 is $124. Tier 4 is $139. And Tier 5 is $154. Those are for a single day, single park ticket. Obviously, that does mean that they're selling park hoppers and multi-day tickets as well, as the pricing structure here indicates. We'll cover the park hopper for a single day real quick. A one-day park hopper is $159 for Tier 1, $169 for Tier 2, $179 for Tier 3, $194 for Tier 4, and $209 for Tier 5. And then the prices change depending on whether you're buying a 2-day ticket, a 3-day ticket. You can get, I think it said, up to a 5-day ticket. You can buy a 5-day ticket. And again, these are for new ticket sales starting April 15th. Now, aside from the actual pricing, which is still, useful information, but we kind of knew that already, we did get some clarification on how guests with previously held tickets are going to make their reservation. You'll note that they are using the tier system. That does apply also for previously purchased tickets. If you're not sure what tier you bought for your ticket, the tier that you're holding, all you got to do is look at it. They tell you right on their ticket. Disney has given us a graphic that shows you where you can look on your ticket to find if it's a printed ticket or from the mobile app. It'll say right there if it's a Tier 5, Tier 4, or Tier 3, whatever the case may be. You need to know that when it comes time to make your reservation, you need to know what tier you have, because that dictates the availability, what days are available to you when you start making a reservation on April 12th. So what they've done, if we scroll down some more, is they've given us a little tool here. You can see those little triangles, little arrows. Depending on what ticket you have or what tier you have, you can see what days are going to be available to you already when you start making reservations on the 9th, or on the 12th. So let's say you have a Tier 5 ticket, all days are available, and that's the way it should be. Tier 5 is the peak ticket, it's the most expensive ticket, and there are no limitations on your use of that ticket. You can use it for any day within the first 60 days on the calendar. Or, if you want to hang on to your ticket and use it for, December, then you could do that too. Let's say, though, for example, that you have a Tier 3 ticket. Expand that, and you can see that there are not as many days. Okay, so you got 8 days in April and May, all weekdays, no weekends. And you've got another 11 days in June, all weekdays, no weekends. Those look like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, basically. So essentially, for the first 2 months of this, if you want to go, it's going to be a Tier 5 ticket, I think. Let's take a look. Let's look at Tier 4, and that looks remarkably the same as Tier 3. They've added Wednesday or Monday, in June, and they've added Thursday and Friday for the later part of May, but still no weekends, still no prime dates. The prime dates are going to be Tier 5, $154 or $209 for a park hopper. I will also note, if you have a Tier 1 ticket, there are no dates. Tier 1 is completely blacked out for the first 2 months. Now, that doesn't mean you're out of luck. You can still buy another ticket. Show up on the 15th, buy a new ticket, and then use your old ticket for another date if you want. If you're dead set on going in those first 2 months, and you have only a Tier 1 ticket, or let's see, Tier 2 probably, yeah, Tier 2, there's, just a few days, 6 days in Tier 2. If whatever ticket you have, whatever tier price, whatever tier ticket you have, if your day doesn't show up on the calendar as a green day, then you have two options. You can buy a second ticket, a new ticket for the day you want, and then hang on to the old ticket, or you can call Disney Direct. There's a phone number given in here, 714-781-9999. 4636. You can call Disney Direct and you can get a refund on your previously owned ticket. They will give you a refund. It says right there that they'll do it. And then you can take your chances on buying a new ticket on the 15th. Whichever, some people don't want to be out of pocket for that second ticket. They don't want to risk it expiring or something like that. Totally get it. So you can get a refund on the old ticket and then buy a new ticket, or take your chances, I should say, on getting a ticket on the 15th for the day you want. And it looks like they have also accommodated, because before the 5-tier system, there was a 3-tier system. 1 day peak, 1 day regular, and 1 day value. They have accommodated those tickets. These are going to be old. I would not imagine there's very many of these tickets available. But if you do happen to have one of these that hasn't expired, they have accommodated those tickets as well. And there's a calendar. Obviously, peak is completely open. Regular tickets looks like a tier 3, perhaps, for on the 5-tier system, and then 1 day value tickets looks just like the tier 2, perhaps. So there is an accommodation for those as well. Like I said, I don't expect there to be very many of you with that kind of ticket. Now, as this relates to people trying to buy a new ticket on the 15th, I saw a couple comments with some confusion about what the process is to buy a new ticket on the 15th. What we just talked about, choosing, finding out what tier you have, and then seeing if that ticket is available for the day you want to go. That doesn't apply when you're buying a new ticket. When you buy a new ticket, you don't choose your tier first. You don't choose, I want to buy a tier 1 ticket or a tier 5 ticket. You don't do that first. The first thing you do is pick your day. You pick your day. I want to go on April 30th. Okay, well, April 30th is a tier 5 ticket. It'll tell you if it's tier 5 and then what the price is. So you don't buy the tier first. You choose your day first, and then it tells you how much that costs. So don't worry about having to go in blind. Just figure out what day you want to go. And as far as that goes as well, that tells you when to log in. So if you want to go on August 30th, okay, then you need to log in to the Disneyland website or on the app on June 30th. Log in on June 30th and be ready to try to get a ticket for August 30th. And then whatever tier that falls in is how much you pay. And I'll mention one more time, you can buy a park hopper. We weren't sure before if the park hopper option, the thing where you can start park hopping at 1 p.m. was going to be available for new ticket purchase. It is. So you can buy a 1 day park hopper, a 2 day park hopper, a 5 day park hopper if you want. So if, let's say, on June 4th, the day that Avengers Campus opens, and you just want to go to Avengers Campus, you don't need to see the whole park, and you also want to go to Disneyland, get that park hopper for $209. Guaranteed, that's going to be a tier 5 day. So be prepared for $209 on that. Get your park hopper for June 4th. Then you could go to Disneyland during the day, and then Avengers Campus later on the 4th, or vice versa, whichever you feel like. So park hoppers will be sold, multi-day tickets will be sold up to 60 days in advance. I'm trying to cover everything. You can reserve a day up to 60 days in advance, and it is my expectation, I'll say this again, we get a lot of questions in the comments about this, it is my expectation that you will be able to buy more than one ticket at a time, meaning you could buy a ticket for the 30th on April, and you could buy a ticket for June 4th, assuming those dates are within the 60-day range, which in this case it is. You should be able to make both of those purchases in the same transaction and make your reservations all at one time. Now, if you do get a multi-day ticket, let's say you get a 3-day ticket, there is an expiration though. Once you choose a date, let's say you choose the 30th, April 30th, there is an expiration date for the remaining 2 days. I'm not sure what it is exactly. I'm not sure if it's changed. I have not purchased a lot of single day or multi-day tickets in my life, so I'm not familiar completely with the process, but I want to say it's something like 5 or 8 days or something like that. Once you use that first day, then you have another 5 or 8 days to use the other remaining days on your ticket. But that's still an option for you. They don't have to be consecutive, but they do have to be used within a certain time frame. And I think that does it. I think it's pretty basic update. We got ticket prices, park hopper, yes. Multi-day ticket, yes. There's a calendar for people who have a ticket already and when those might be good for in the tier system. I'm going to put a link in the description for that calendar that I just showed you on the phone. And it'll also show you kind of where to look on your ticket to find out what tier you have, although I think it should be pretty obvious. And then otherwise, if you still are unsure, leave us a question in the comments below. I'll try to answer it for you. I've been trying to answer as many of these as I can in these FAQ videos, and I'll try to do that here as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching Fresh Baked. We'll see you next time. Saturday, hopefully. I'm going to Touch of Disney again on Saturday. Going to say hi to Ronnie. Can't wait for that. And I'll see you guys some other time. Be kind to one another, Fresh Baked. Be safe out there. We love you very much. Fresh Baked.